What a weekend of URC rugby. The quarterfinals are done. We've got the semi-finals. Let's get into the games. Now, I said that it would be a home clean sweep. I was half right. There was 2 home wins, 2 away wins. But one thing I will say is that the Irish absolutely dominated. There's 3 Irish teams in these semi-finals. So the first game was Ulster versus Connacht. Now, I had Ulster down to win this, but actually Connacht won it and surprised everyone, winning 15-10. Now, Connacht scored all their points through 5 penalties from Carty. O'Connor scored the only try of the game for Ulster, and Ulster got the other points through a conversion and a penalty from Cooney. So Connacht surprising everyone there and winning 15-10. Now, this was the only match I wasn't able to watch because I was working. And then when I looked at the score on my phone afterwards, I actually was quite stunned. But the next games, I did manage to watch all 3 of the next games. So we've got Stormers versus Bulls. And Stormers walked away with the win 33-21. The tries for Stormers coming from Diemi, Zass and Davids with 4 penalties and 3 conversions from Lubbock. The Bulls having tries from Brink, Papier and Duplessis, and a conversion from Husson and 2 from Smith, with a yellow card coming to Brink, which I argue should have probably been a penalty try to Stormers. But I think the refereeing in some of these games wasn't the best, but I don't really like to sit and moan about the refereeing, because I feel like it's a waste of time. I don't like moaning about the ref. But if they do make a bad job, they should be called out. But I'd rather talk about the rugby side of things, which the Bulls just were very scrappy for most of it, especially in that first half. They just had nothing going for them, and Stormers really just 4 penalties to none kicked kind of shows that the Bulls really struggled with their discipline, especially close to their own line, which Stormers just punished them for by kicking the 4 penalties. Next up is Leinster versus Sharks. Now, I said Leinster would win this, and I was right. Leinster absolutely dominated, really, winning 35-5. Sharks did strike first with a try from Williams, but very quickly they got 2 yellow cards from a Pimpy and Venter, and then Leinster just ran away with it after that. The yellow cards, I think my Pimpy's was quite close to the try early on, Venter's was later on in the game, but Leinster's tries came for Doris, Milne, Lorimer, Deegan and Gibson Park, and then Byrne got all 5 conversions to win Munster the game 35-5. I do think Leinster. If I said Munster anytime that I didn't mean Munster, I mean Leinster. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's too early. I think Leinster will pull off the Europe and URC double. I cannot see anyone stopping them at all at this stage. The next game, the last game, was Glasgow Munster. Now this was a game and a half. Munster won 14-5. It was a low-scoring, tight game. I thought it would be a higher scoring game, I'm pretty sure I said, but no, it wasn't. Munster's defence was blinking incredible, though. The amount of times Glasgow got within 5 metres and came away with nothing. And to be honest with you, Glasgow's defence wasn't bad either. 5 minutes of the game lost Glasgow. 5 minutes lost Glasgow the game. Munster scored their first try through Fekitoa on the 23rd minute. Then Jordan got a red card on the 25th minute. That's Glasgow's 10, which you really did see after that. The early red card for the 10, you really did see a lot of disorganisation. And then about 2 minutes later, Frisch scored Munster's second. and both conversions were made by Crawley. Glasgow did strike back through a try with Stein, kind of halfway through the second half, but they missed the conversion, so they were still kind of out of it. I mean, they went out of it, but they needed the conversion to put them within touching distance. And then later on, with about 5 or 6 minutes left, Topolotu got a yellow card, and that kind of sealed the game for Munster. But all 5 games were incredible. I mean, as I said, I watched the Stormers one, the Leinster one, and the Glasgow one. Wasn't able to watch the Ulster one, but they were all great games. Some brilliant rugby, some poor rugby. But yeah, no. So that decides the semi-finals for next week. You've got Stormers versus Connacht down in Cape Town. Then you've got Leinster versus Munster across in Dublin. So I'll do a separate thing covering them when it comes to that. That's actually next weekend. And then you've got the European finals. Then you've got the URC finals. So club rugby's not got long left. And URC anyway. And neither is this video. Let me know what you thought of the games. If you have any different opinions on them or that, let me know. But if not, I'll see you next time.